Alright guys, this is genuinely insane. We just found out that Forsaken's former owner still has access to the game and is even getting paid. Let's break it all down.
I'm getting really sick.
So Soldier Venlove, the former owner of Forsaken, has been lurking in the background of Forsaken this entire time. Sol did some nasty things, such as being unnoticed, which led to them being completely removed from owning Forsaken, or at least, that's what we were told. However, a massive tweet leaked showcasing Sol's alt account on Roblox, still getting 25% of all the earnings from Forsaken, while the other devs get around 4%. So Sol was still taking up a huge majority of the Robux coming from Forsaken. As of now, Hytoko has responded to all of this in a thread, going into detail about why this happened. To start, Hytoko explained that the team was under an NDA, a legal agreement they all had to sign that prevented them from talking about this entire situation. If they had been able to, they would have spoken out about it, but the NDA literally f***ed them. When it came to Sol handing Forsaken over to the devs, they wanted something in return. They weren't willing to hand over their multi-million-dollar game for free. The game was being sold on underground Roblox game selling servers, where Forsaken was offered up for a lot of money, though Hytoko can't disclose the exact amount. Companies such as Dobig were even trying to purchase Forsaken, but Hytoko didn't want the game ending up in their hands. If it had been sold to Dobig, Forsaken would have turned into a complete pay-to-win fest with microtransactions everywhere. So the outcome was a deal with Sol. They'd still get a cut of earnings, which we can now see in the leaked image. Hytoko also explained that he can't share any more details, as doing so would break the NDA, and they're not willing to pay massive fines for violating it.
Wait.
The Forsaken team can't really do anything about it right now, and any options take time because of the legal issues behind the scenes. There was also backlash toward Basil on TikTok, with people claiming she does nothing for the game and complaining about her posting daily seals in Discord. She received a lot of hate, but Hytoko addressed it in his thread, saying he's fine if people distrust him, but to not hate anyone else on the team, not even Basil. He specifically said if people want to direct hate, to direct it at him instead. Morally, Hytoko explained this is just how these kinds of transactions work, with a lot of games being bought out. He understands that, but said he couldn't sacrifice something the team built with passion, a game that gives people purpose, just because of one person. He admitted he might be shunned from other communities after this information, but said that's fine, as it was still a pleasure meeting other teams and people, even if they see him differently now. To wrap it up, Hytoko confirmed Sol is not involved in the development of Forsaken. Everything is left to Basil, the leads, and contributors.
Sol is still profiting off.
With this thread, Creekcraft also gave his views on the situation.
I don't know. So everyone associated with this that's, part of this deal, they will have signed an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, which basically means you can't talk about any of the details of the negotiation, of the deal, of the contract, whatever. You can't talk about any of that publicly. If you do, you're in violation of the NDA, which...
Saying the NDA is why the Forsaken team couldn't legally talk about the percentage cuts. He compared the situation to how other Roblox games are sold.
You basically buy a percentage of the game. And a good example of this is like Grow a Garden, right? Jandal doesn't actually own 100% of Grow a Garden. Jandal owns a percentage of Grow a Garden. Dobig owns a percentage of Grow a Garden. The original developer owns a percentage of Grow a Garden.
Legally, Creek noted that Sol hasn't been convicted of anything, which means they're still technically innocent as far as the law is concerned.
They are as innocent as can be.
He wasn't downplaying the allegations, but emphasized that no matter what, Sol will always own part of Forsaken. Creek also said he was disappointed to see people attacking the devs over this.
Legally cannot say.
With all this, the community has been divided between sympathy and frustration. One side feels that Hytoko lied about Sol not making money from Forsaken, hiding the truth for 5 months. Others responded that it was likely covered by the NDA, and breaking it would have been illegal. But still, did Hytoko have to outright lie? He could have just said they couldn't legally disclose Sol's involvement instead of misleading people. Another viral tweet pointed out that everything players purchase in Forsaken directly benefits Sol. People even joked that Forsaken should have won the Worst Management Award instead of Best Survival Game. Some questioned what blackmail Seoul has over everyone for this arrangement to still exist. Haitoko explained that back when he tweeted in May about Forsaken finally being in his ownership, nothing was actually signed until June. He was just being hopeful. The community just wanted Haitoko to be more transparent, even though it was under NDA. This prevented him from being able to say anything, and Seoul could have specifically told Haitoko to say that Seoul was not part of the game, which would have misled the community. The bigger issue is that there was no right choice. Either Seoul gets a paycheck while the devs keep their jobs and the game alive, or Seoul sells the game to another studio, gets an even bigger paycheck, and Forsaken turns into a pay-to-win cash grab. The leaked payouts came from the account Forsaken Burner, which people now speculate is Seoul. Access to payout data is exclusive information, so leaking it could have broken the NDA. In fact, Seoul reportedly posted in a Discord server saying they had a document coming out to make Haitoko's Basil look horrible. The Forsaken Burner account appeared with Twitter Premium to reach a larger audience, following only Soldier Venlayer, an account dedicated to exposing Forsaken devs for still working with Seoul. But this move backfired. People started to notice that Seoul had basically incriminated themselves, breaking the NDA. Forsaken Burner even claimed Haitoko sent people to harass them with threats and insults, which was completely false. Haitoko never even mentioned that account in his thread. It's such a dumb and bummy move, basically just making themselves look guilty, and could now lead to the Forsaken team taking legal action against Seoul to finally cut ties for good. All of this is still alleged, of course. Until there's confirmation that Forsaken Burner is Seoul, we can't say for sure, but if it is, then it's clear Seoul broke the NDA. Since there are a bunch of collabs in Forsaken, with this whole situation happening, will any of them now leave? From what we know, Rogues was planning to come back to the game, with the dev not minding if the skins were added back. But now that this situation has resurfaced, we might be cooked. People have a bad feeling that Fasolulz and Rogues are going to get pulled, with JX1DX1 also not making a return. Still, a lot of people are saying all collab skins could be removed now that it's known Seoul is still making money off of them. This is all speculation, but given what's happened, the collab partners do have the right to remove their skins from the game. Hopefully, nothing major ends up happening to these skins.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
So what happens now that Forsaken is facing so much backlash? This isn't Forsaken's fault. It's Seoul playing mind games to create more chaos. Haitoko has tried to be transparent, but the NDA forced them to stay quiet until now. Yes, we should have known sooner, but legally it had to be handled carefully. Otherwise, Forsaken could have even gone bankrupt. Hopefully a better solution comes soon, because it's sad to see Forsaken drag through this when it's what's best for the game and the team's jobs. What about you? Will you keep playing Forsaken after this? Subscribe and hit the bell for more Forsakening it.